I've noticed is men with a burning ambition to achieve a lot will sell their soul to the highest bidder in an effort to achieve those goals, not realizing all of the goals that they tried to achieve were mainly basically materialistic, and the only thing that they had of any value was their soul, and they sold it. You come from nothing and you will end up with nothing, so anything in between is purely decoration, I suppose. And many people would love to have fame and fortune. They'd love to be regarded by many as I don't know, more superior, more important, call it what you will. I've never had that drive in my life. I've never wanted to particularly compete on most things. This is why I'm not really into sport. I have no interest. You want to go ahead, you can go ahead. I've never felt that I needed to beat the man next to me because we're on a different track, as far as I was concerned anyway. So maybe when we see a load of these politicians and people like that they're so focused and so driven on becoming important and powerful that they're willing to deal with anybody and get paid by anybody to achieve said goal, that's probably why the system itself is in such a shoddy state. But the point of this is, to be a real man, as I see it, this is only my advice, you have to stick with your core values and keep your integrity and never sell yourself. At least your soul anyway. At the end of the day, it's all you have. Money can come and go, and often does, and things can come along. My old man never sold his soul, right? And he always did the right thing, but he believed in the system because he was one of that generation where you didn't question. And he's fallen foul of that situation, or the system itself. He took advice of bank managers and went to borrow money to build his company, and he grafted, only to find out that just around the corner, and they knew it, was going to be a recession, and that many of the companies that he'd invested in setting up outlets with ended up going to the wall owing in money. And what did he do? He put his house on it. Not just once, twice, so he didn't learn, but he took advice from people that he held in high regard, bank managers and the like. Well, it turns out that bank managers are susceptible to the same corruption as any other human being, and these people have their targets to hit, and what better way than to give a loan over that's secured on a house, because not only do they get the money back from the house, they actually get more money from the sale of the house, so they've robbed you properly. I digress. But he is still the same man now as he was then, regarding he won't do he won't try and rip a person off, he won't do something that he feels to himself is intrinsically wrong, okay, and he believes in right and wrong. He has no real understanding of the world as it exists. All right, he only understands what he's been taught by the system, and because of that, he will always fall foul of that same system, because he's of that generation. They were all the same. They listened to the radio, they listened to the news on the TV and believed it to be correct. They thought the BBC was a great institution. Trust the policeman, all that kind of rubbish. Whereas our generation have gone, I don't believe in that. But nevertheless, that house and all the rest of it won't go with him when he meets his end. And in the meantime, he'll never look at himself in the mirror and go, what have I done? Who have I become? I don't like the person I've become. What do the people around me actually really think of me now? Now I've sold myself out, sold their legacy out, whatever. So don't ever be tempted to sell yourself out, sell your soul, sell your legacy for short-time gains, because those gains can be lost. And the thing you came into this world with and will leave with will be your honour, your integrity, and that's what makes you a real man and the person you are. Just thought I'd pass on those thoughts to you. Let me know what you think in the comments. If I can get to the seat.